Hi there, I'm Luma and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, really glad that you found me. Welcome back to all of my wonderful subscribers. I thank you so much for listening and tuning in with me here. So I make these videos to give you my impressions of the energetic movements and shifts in consciousness that we are in the midst of here. So I track this through my many lenses of perception and through my work as an energy intuitive. So I make these videos because I think that we really need some new terms of reference, some new reference points so that we may understand our experiences in different ways. Because we have been so fixated on the past, of constantly referring to the past in order to figure out where we are and what the future is going to bring, okay? So here's a big shift that I've been noticing. My perception of time is and space has really shifted. Maybe you've noticed this too. So no longer referencing exclusively from the past, right? Okay, so think of all the places that you have been in the past, all the experiences you have had in the past, just this lifetime alone, okay? And look at it like a map, with push pins. I am here, or I was here, I was here, I was here, all these little pins that we've pinned to all the places, the experiences, the events where we have been in the past. Add a whole other layer of that to all of our ancestors, where they were in the past, yeah? Add to that a whole other layer of your soul's journey of where you have been in this galaxy, in this universe. So you got layers upon layers upon layers of maps from the past with all these little push pin markers, little pinpoints of where you have been, yeah? And those layers very much color and filter our experience of the present. Most of us have never really experienced where we are in real time, present time, this now moment, yeah? We're constantly referring to the past and it's filtering over our present. Now let's talk about the future. So how do you find a trajectory for the future? You pin from one of these pinpoints in the past, typically, yeah? So there's a pinpoint in the past that projects into the future, and it's either going to be a positive or it's going to be a negative, okay? There's your perception. Two eyeballs, positive, negative, pinned from the past. Guess what? Completely bypassing the present here and the truth of this now moment of what you are experiencing right now, okay? So we've been in this absent from our actual truth and reality of the experience of our bioenergy field, our physical form body, our emotions, yeah? The mind is very skillful at projecting all over the place through time and space, and the body has a very different lens of perception, okay? So, unpinning those points from the past. Let's just do this together right now. Just imagine all those little push pins just popping out. Yep. You're no longer pinned. Pinned to the past. Yeah. And you're trying to move around. You're like this, right? All right. Okay. That also relates to our body, our connective tissues, our fascia, right? It gets adhesions, yeah? Memories are stored in all the organs, tissues, but especially the connective tissues, yeah? Of where we have been, these past experiences, wounds, scar tissues, the way we brace against life in certain ways. When things remind us of something that happened in the past, we brace against it, we defend, we protect, we run away, we absent ourselves, we vacate from the premises, okay? So this is like this powerful hold of the past. The stories, my goodness, don't we know the stories repeating over and over? Freaking bad B movies in your brain, right? Little, stories about your family, or the stories that your family told you about you, or where you came from. the place, the culture, the religion, the land where you grew up, all the stories, all the stories, all the stories. That's a lot of weight, okay? So also want to talk about how our sense of gravity is shifting, yeah? So when we're pinned so heavily in the past, it's like a lot of weight. There's a weightedness that pulls our center of gravity, it kind of displaces our sense of gravity outside of ourselves, yeah? And we can't, it's difficult to align with our actual embodied sense of gravity, yeah? So as I'm talking here, I'm pointing to and demonstrating these alignments of aligning with your center of gravity in the present, which is much lighter indeed, much lighter, yeah? The weight of the past unpinned, yeah? You may feel unhinged, unanchored, floating around. Our whole identities are sculpted and shaped by these points pinned into the past, yeah? So it's very disorienting when you pull up all these pins of, they all said, I am here, right? Not I was here, I am here. I am here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. How are you supposed to track where you actually are? No wonder we're so confused all the time, yeah? All right, so just keep unpinning, unpinning, unpinning with me here as I'm talking, bringing this alignment in here to your own center of gravity so you can actually locate where we are right now. We have made a massive shift and movement, more than we can understand or perceive right now, okay? We are in a period of immense, enormous, rapid, accelerated growth. We are in a growth spurt, yeah? Okay, new growth is coming up, old is dropping away, okay? So I spend a lot of time tending to my flower pots. Got one of my geraniums here. And if you do gardening and you want to maintain beautiful flower pots, you know you got to do regular deadheading. You pull off the old blossoms because there's a lot more new coming. If you want them to keep blooming all summer long, that's what you got to do. So apply that to ourselves here. We've been doing a lot of deadheading. Yeah, there's old spent flowers. Yeah, they've served their purpose. They've been pollinated. Bees have collected the pollen. That whole cycle's been complete. The petals drop away. If it's a fruiting plant, then there's going to be fruit. There's going to be nuts. Yeah, the petals drop away. Okay. So we can be very focused, again, on the past of like, oh my gosh, it's all dead. It's all dead, dried up flowers. And we can feel those waves of sadness, remorse, grief, exhaustion. Oh my goodness, okay? Keep turning your attention to the present where there's new growth coming up in our midst, through our lives. It's pushing the old out of the way, yeah, and the old can drop down to be compost or go wherever it needs to go, right? Right, so your attention and your energy, where our attention goes, energy flows, is absolutely true. So you can liberate that attention from the past so it can come to you here in the present, okay? And it feels like that energy kind of goes through a bit of a cleaning process where a lot of those old memory files get cleared out, all the things that you thought you should better hang on to for survival, just in case you need it. You better carry that massive backpack. Maybe it's a whole trailer of stuff, of things, of tools, of strategies, of coping mechanisms, of stories that you told yourself, of identities that you had to fabricate in order to survive and cope and exist in conditions that were, let's say, less than favorable for the growth of soul and spirit. All right? Okay. So we can stop dragging around all of that stuff that oh, I might need that. Better hang on to it. That story, yeah, I don't know. I can't trust people. I better hang on to that story just in case to protect myself in the future. Worst case scenario, yeah. I want to talk about projecting into the future as a coping mechanism, which a lot of us have used. Yeah, when things are better, when I have more money, when I'm in the right relationship, when my kids are grown up, whenever that is, then I'll finally get to live the life that I want to live, right? This constant kind of postponing. And this like kind of fantasy projecting into some like fantasy best life ever scenario where you're, I don't know, relaxing on a beach or whatever it is that your like fantasy version of life is, right? And it's like the carrot dangling that you never ever get to take a bite out of it, and it just keeps moving and moving and moving, and your attention goes into this fantasy life that doesn't even exist. Yeah. So you know, that's a coping strategy when you don't want to be where you are in your life and it's really uncomfortable and painful. Yeah. You want to project somewhere else. Okay. So unpinning, unpinning all those points. There we go. Reorienting. Again, you go through, when you're reorienting, you go through a period of disorientation and confusion, not knowing. This is a natural, remember, natural process of evolution, of change, yeah, where things are unwinding, yeah, things are undoing, yeah, there's a big undoing, a big unwinding going on, yeah. Sometimes it's so much you just want to lay down because you just don't know where you're at. You might feel dizzy physically or emotionally or mentally, not able to focus because it's like, you know, okay. So dizziness on the mental level, emotional level, physical level, right? Even spiritual level, like what makes, you know, how does my inner guidance system even work? What do I believe in? You know, what gives me strength? What to carry on here? All of this. Again, rapid growth spurt, rapid accelerated change, new energies coming in that are very high potency, very high quality. Yeah. We're not used to it. It's like we've been addicted to and eating junk food, right? Junk food, junk thoughts, junk emotions, junk, you know, because there wasn't any good high quality nutrients or nourishment in terms of light, consciousness, yeah, higher frequencies of love, yeah. So here we're like letting go of our addictions to the past, which had a different quality of life. And not to poo-poo the whole past, you know, there was like, it was very dense, yeah. And so certain kinds of nourishments were needed in order to survive and endure in heavy density, yeah. So that is changing, yeah, as there's different qualities, different frequencies available here, different kinds of energies. We're doing a big changeover here, yeah. So you may feel like you go forward, and you can, you know, you get these bursts or these waves of this very elevated, very light, very vibrant energy. Yeah, it's full of vitality. It's like these bright flowers, this like bright flower, verdant green, everything just like, you can't even take in the high quality intensity of life that's just blooming here at times. It's stunning, you know. And then, you know, you know, It unwinds some more memory stuff that was stored from the past. It unwinds some of the heaviness, some of the density, the pains, the old hurts. My goodness, my goodness. The unacknowledged hurts that we've carried around with us. Yeah. Hoping one day someone might notice how hurt we are. Yeah. Now we got these energies that are coming in and going, yeah, here we go. Unwind that one. Yeah, liberate your energy and attention, your life force energy. You know, can redirect it here. So it's a lot of those like unacknowledged hurts, displaced energy, trapped energy. It's like very raw, like it didn't get to integrate through our whole vessel and vehicle here. So we're going through a big alchemy of alchemizing a lot of this displaced raw energy. It's very volatile, you know, it gets projected all over the place, you know, and there's a lot of unconsciousness around that. So we're bringing conscious awareness to energy, to our energies, to our bioenergy field, to how energy, such a vague term, hopefully we can get some more precision around communicating what all these layers of energy are. But I'm just going to use the blanket term energy for the moment of becoming and remembering how to be masters of energy, how to command energy, how to collaborate with energy and create with energy in beautiful and harmonious and respectful ways and joyous ways. Yeah, so bringing awareness to energy, that can be emotional energy, that can be mental energy, that can be physical energy, yeah. And when it pops into your conscious awareness, you know, often we feel, oh my God, so ashamed. It's like, I had no idea, I wasn't aware of that. It's like, thank goodness, just say thank you now. Now there's awareness, yeah, where there was just this raw mental, emotional, or physical energy, yeah. Now there is awareness, oh, and then there's this process of refining that energy, yeah, through awareness, yeah, through compassionate, loving attention, yeah. And what stops that is like, oh my God, shame, blame. Well, this bad thing happened to me, therefore I'm right to feel so angry or so hurt, and I have a right to retaliate. Yeah, you know, we can get stuck in blame there, get stuck in shame. We can just close down and freeze. It's like denial. No, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at that. No, 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 right? Okay, so we're really have a wonderful opportunity here to step forward, to step up into levels of being accountable for our own awareness of energy, yeah? And it's like a fast, remember, we're in a growth spurt, so it's a big learning curve that we're in right now. So think of when you go through, when you have in this, you know, your human development gone through big growth spurts, you know, when you're like an infant to toddler up to, you know, and you have to nap all the time because you're growing so fast. And then again, when you're a teenager and go through all that, sleeping a lot, right? Okay, resting when you need to because you're going through a big growth spurt. Things are changing up. Yeah, we were so fixed and locked down in a very slow rate of change. There was a lot of control, right? A lot of homogenization. Okay, everyone's normal, everyone's the same, everybody wants the same thing. No, we know that's not true. You know, planet Earth here is an incredible diversity of life forms. It's unfathomable, the diversity of life here, yeah? And so in our human awareness and our human consciousness, stepping into our uniqueness, okay? Our differentness, yeah? Because that is what is needed right now. And then we can connect and appreciate each other more deeply when we understand, oh my goodness, this person has really refined this quality in themselves. How gorgeous, how beautiful. You know, I'm going to ask that person about that area of life. Yeah. And I will benefit, and my life will be enhanced by the depth of that other person's experience. You know, meanwhile, I've been exploring over here, and I've got a depth of richness of life experience in these areas of life, you know, which can be shared and enhance the lives of others. And there's no competition, there's no comparison. This is what we're stepping into. This is what we're flowering and opening into. And this is how I see it. And this is what gives me strength here to go with the changes, even though they're uncomfortable. And I don't really know what's next. Yeah. So when you're encountering that unknown, when you feel really unpinned, really unhinged, you can't get your bearings. Yeah, you want to grab hold of the past to try to control the outcome. That's gonna, again, it's gonna pull your whole fabric of your being off, and it's gonna be more challenging to just allow the new alignments. Well, they're not even new, they're just where you are right now. You know, in real time, in real space. It's really interdimensional, it's really multidimensional. This again, opening of memories that have been stored in the fabric of our being, popping them open. All these memories from the past, they're not all bad, they're not all trauma. There's incredible gifts and beauty, memories of abilities, yeah? Allowing those to open up and unfold through us as well. Alrighty, so taking a little pause here, see if there's anything else I want to share with you today. Yeah, okay, so this concept of grounding and being in your body, I want to bring this, and I have mentioned this before, I think, to be centered in your own being, like a sphere or an orb, yeah? And you locate yourself radially, yeah? You can locate yourself in all and every direction, yeah? It's a very different sense of time and space, and it requires a centeredness, yeah? Which requires a landing in to your center of gravity, to your seat of sovereign power. And from there, you can turn, you can pivot, you can move, you can undulate, you can float if you need to, be carried by larger currents and still stay centered. You're not pinned down. It's a fluid centeredness, yeah? So the centeredness is like the gravity of stillness. And from that fulcrum, from that center point, you can pivot and move in all the directions and encounter life in all of its diversity, yeah? And remain connected in a deeper way to yourself and your direct source connection within. So you're becoming more an internally sourced being rather than an externally resourced being, yeah? And I believe in this greater movement, we're moving into becoming self-generating beings. You know, we know that we generate light. We live in these vehicles, which I perceive ever more as these gorgeous woven baskets of light, this exquisite filigree and lattice work of wovenness that's super connected, super connectivity, yeah? That's the capacity here, yeah? where we always know where we are and what we can do, when to rest, when to take effective action, when to respond, when to wait, when to enjoy and appreciate. Okay. So yeah, I think I'll just leave that with you here today. Thank you for listening and liking, subscribing, sharing this with friends that this might be helpful for. And I'll be back again really soon. Take good care. Bye for now.